property held in joint tenancy upon the death of one of the tenants passes to the A. landlord, no, B. state, no, C. country assessor, no, D. surviving joint tenant. D is a good answer to this question.
All right, perfect. Congratulations. Let's go for the next one.
An estate that is limited in duration to the life of its owner or to the life or lives of one or more designated person is a life estate, fee estate, fee simple, defeasible estate, periodic tenancy. So we'll do elimination. Eliminate D.
Okay, good one.
Eliminate C.
Perfect.
Eliminate B. I think A is a good answer. A.
Perfect. You got it right again. Congratulations, Tanya. 2 for 2 so far. Let's go forward to the third one.
The rate of commission to be charged for selling a business is determined by the real estate commissioner, B. agreement between seller and broker, C. agreement between buyer and broker, D. the state law. Okay, I eliminate D, eliminate A,
Okay.
eliminate C. I think B is a good answer.
Perfect. So this agreement between it's the agreement between the seller and the broker. Right? That's the custom practice. All right. You got it right, Elena. Okay, Tanya, you got it right. Both of you, congratulations.
So we skip 4.
All right, let's go to number 4. We'll skip that. That's a math question. We don't do math questions. Next one.
5. Which of the following is an existing fair housing law which every licensee should be fully aware of? A. Rumford Act. B. Unrecht Civil Rights Act. C. United States Civil Rights Act of 1968. D. All of the above. I think I know the answer. I think A is the answer. Am I wrong?
And you don't believe that which of the following is an existing fair housing law? You don't believe that Civil Rights Act has anything to do with fair housing. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. United States Civil Rights Act of 1978. And you don't believe that has anything to do with fair housing. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Unfortunately for you, bad news. All of this has to do with fair housing.
So D is a good answer, huh?
Correct. Play the percentages. Unless you're absolutely sure D is not the right answer. Okay? All right? All right, so let's move on to the next one.
Okay. Okay, 6. Lenders are usually concerned with the element of risk when loans are made on homes. When borrowers can obtain loans with no down payments, the greatest protection against defaults on such loans would be A. Low interest rate, B. Friendly and fair loan servicing, C. Appreciation of the property, D. Low monthly payments. Okay, eliminate B. Eliminate A, eliminate D. I choose, oh, just a second. I choose C, appreciation of the property. Good answer.
All right, perfect, perfect. And Joe got it right too. Joe, congratulations to you as well, both of you. Okay, move on to the next one.
Which of the following is required for an individual to obtain a California real estate salesperson license? A. Pass the licensee examination. B. Pay the licensing fee. C. Show proof of completion of a real estate principal course. D. All of the above. I think D. All of the above.
Correct. You have to pass the exam, you have to pay your license fee, and then you show proof that you have completed real estate principles. Perfect. D is the right answer. Congratulations to Joe as well. Both of you. And Delena as well. Okay. Let's move on to the next one.
Which of the following is not an essential requirement to create a leasehold? A. Competent parties. B. Description of the premises. C. Mutual consent. D. Notarized signature of lessee. Okay, so is not. So I eliminate A, eliminate B. Is not requirement. So I am 50-50 between C and D, donkey. Mutual consent, notarized signature of lessee is not an essential. Okay, I am choosing C as a final answer. I eliminate D.
So you think that signature of the lessee needs to be notarized in order to have a valid lease? Is that right?
Yes, I think notary is important for lease to be valid, but the question asking is not an essential.
Well, it's a notary required on for a lease to be valid.
But the question is asking is not an essential. Which one?
Correct. Notary is not an essential requirement to create a leasehold.
So I choose C. I think mutual consent is the final answer to question 8.
Right, but mutual consent is a requirement to have a leasehold.
Okay, so
did you misread the question?
Which one is not essential? Okay, description of the premises. Description implies address.
Well, description, you have to have a description to have a valid lease, right?
Yes.
And then you have to have competent parties to have a valid lease. What you don't need to have is notarized signature of lessee. Okay?
Okay, so D is the final answer.
Correct. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Next one. A simple contract may be best defined as
A. An agreement in writing. B. An offer and an acceptance. C. A promise. D. A recorded agreement. I eliminate C. Eliminate D.
Okay. Good job.
Simple contract may be best described. Eliminate B. I choose A as a final answer. An agreement in writing.
Unfortunately, that is wrong because a contract does not have to be in writing unless it's a special contract. So an agreement, a contract is simply just offer and acceptance. Once you have an offer and acceptance, you have an agreement. You have a contract. But it doesn't have to be in writing. Only certain types of contracts have to be in writing. But the majority of the contracts are not required to be in writing in order to be enforceable. Okay, so the correct answer is actually an offer and acceptance. All right?
Thank you. Thank you.
No problem. Let's move on to the next one.
An executory contract is a contract that has been fully performed, B. is yet to be performed, C. must be in writing, D. has been notarized. So I will eliminate D.
Okay.
Eliminate B. Eliminate A. I choose must be in writing.
You are wrong again.
Again,
Contract does not have to be in writing. They always catch you on this one. There are only certain types of contract that must be in writing, which is a lease that is 1 year or longer, or a purchase and sale contract for real estate. All other types of contract does not have to be in writing. So an executory contract is one that is yet to be performed. Okay? So number 10, the correct answer is B. All right, Joe got it right, and Delena got it right. All right, Tanya, let's move on to the next one.
Okay. The second installment of county real property taxes become delinquent on February 10, December 31st, April 10, March 15. I know this answer exactly. The right answer, I will eliminate A, eliminate B, eliminate D. I choose C as the final answer.
This is a memorized question, so you got it right. Congratulations to you, and congratulations to Joe as well. All right, let's move on to the next one.
Upon the termination of lease, trade fixtures can usually be removed by the tenant if removal can be effected without damage. B. Removed only by written consent of the lessor. C. Sold by the lessor. D. Removed by the tenant only if he reimburses the lessor for their value. So I will do elimination. Eliminate C, sold by the lessor. Eliminate D. Eliminate B. I will choose A, removed by the tenant if removal can be effected without damage. I choose A as the final answer.
All right, congratulations to you, Tanya, and Joe, and Elena. You all got it right. Okay, next one.
One of the steps in the replacement cost approach to the appraisal of a building is to calculate the gross rent, order a credit report on the owner, estimate the cost to construct an equally desirable substitute building. D. Contact the Department of Veterans Affairs. So we'll eliminate D. Eliminate B. Eliminate A. C is the final answer.
Perfect. You got it right. And Elena got it right. Joe got it right. You all got it right. Perfect. All right. Let's move on to the next one.
Which of the following would be classified as economic obsolescence? So, poor architectural design. B. Termites damage. C. Deferred maintenance. B. Blighted neighborhood. So eliminate A, B, C, D is the final answer.
Perfect. You got it right. Economic obsolescence has nothing to do with the physical part of the property. It has to do with the non-physical, which is the environment. So blighted neighborhood is a type of economic obsolescence. All right, you all got it right. You guys are so smart tonight. Okay, congratulations all of you. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one.
Based on the Statute of Frauds, which of the following contracts would not be required to be in writing? Would not. An option to purchase real estate. B. An agreement by its terms that is not to be performed within 1 year. C. A general partnership agreement. D. A land contract of sale. Would not be required to be in writing. Okay, I would do elimination. Eliminate D.
Okay.
Eliminate A. I've been thinking about this too. So I chose C.
Hey, you got it right.
The final
Because
answer.
all option to purchase real estate is a type that requires to be in writing. Agreement, if it cannot be performed within a year, requires to be in writing. Land contract or sale is required to be in writing. A general partnership agreement can be oral. So you got it right. 15 is C. Sorry, Joe, you got it wrong. Delena, you got it wrong as well. It should be C, a general partnership agreement. Well, congratulations to you, Tanya. You got it right. All right, next one.
The trustor under a deed of trust is the borrower, lender, C. Party that holds the naked legal title, D. One who issues the reconveyance. I'll do elimination. Eliminate A. Eliminate C. So eliminate D. I choose B, lender.
You're wrong. Trustor is the borrower. Lender is known as beneficiary under a deed of trust, but trustor is the borrower. So unfortunately for you, you got it wrong.
Okay,
Yeah, even Delena got it wrong. You guys got it wrong. Trustor is the borrower. It's A, okay? All right, great. Next one.
so the right answer is A, huh?
Correct. Right answer is A.
Okay. The consent of the beneficiary should be obtained before the trustor enters into A. Boundary line change agreement, a sale of a portion of the secured property, C. A restrictive agreement, D. Any of the preceding. I choose D because I think all of it requires the consent of the beneficiary to be obtained. D is the final answer.
Boundary line change agreement does not require the lender's consent. If you and your neighbor decided to change the property line, you don't need the lender's consent. Restrictive agreement, let's see here. Before the trustor enters, let me think about this one. This one is a little bit tricky. Boundary line change agreement, you don't need the lender's consent if it's just a boundary line change. Restrictive agreement, same thing. You don't need the lender's consent, but the sale of a portion of the secured property, you need the lender's consent. So B will be the correct answer. Okay, this one is a bit difficult. Okay, so the correct answer is sale of a portion of the secured property. Restrictive agreement, property, boundary line change agreement, none of this requires the lender's consent. All right? Okay. Let's move on to the next one. So, number 18.
The court action taken by a landlord to evict a tenant for non-payment of rent is known as A. Prescription, B. Condemnation, C. Bankruptcy, D. Unlawful detainer. I will do eliminate A, B, and C. I will choose D, unlawful detainer.
All right, perfect. You got it right. Okay, everybody got 18 right. Perfect. Next one.
A lease for a fixed period of time at a set rate of rent is known as a sandwich lease, B. Flat, fixed, or straight lease, C. Net lease, D. Graduated lease. So we'll do elimination. Eliminate D, eliminate C. I'm 50-50 between A and B.
Okay.
I eliminate A, I choose B, flat, fixed, or straight lease as a final answer.
Perfect. You got it right. All right. One final one for the night.
A reconveyance deed would be used in connection with a mortgage, contract of sale, trustee's deed, trust deed. I will do elimination. Convenience deed would be used in connection. Eliminate C. Eliminate D. Eliminate B. I choose A. Mortgage.
Unfortunately, it's incorrect. The only time a reconveyance deed is used is in connection with the trust deed. D is the right answer. A reconveyance deed is used in connection with a trust deed.
Trust
Okay?
deed.
Not trustee's deed. It should be trust deed. You
So
got it
D-
wrong too, Delena. It should be trust deed, which is D. Answer D is the correct one.
Okay.
Mortgage has nothing to do with reconveyance. They don't use reconveyance in mortgage. Contract of sale is just a land sale contract, which is buying the property by installment. Trustee's deed is when the property went into auction, you are the successful bidder, you won the bid at the sale. The trustee will give you a trustee's deed so that you have title to the property. That's what a trustee's deed is. So C is the wrong answer. D is the correct answer. All right, everybody did a good job. It seemed to me that you probably got about 70% right, which means that if you were to take the test today, you would pass, Tanya. So you're getting close. I think a little bit more practice to bring it to about 80%.
Yeah.
All right?
Thank you.
All right, you guys are awesome tonight. Okay? And I look forward to talking to you next Thursday.